Good day everyone, my name is Mary Jane C. Pamoso, a base student. In this video, I will be sharing you my final reflections about History 10. There are 7 topics in final reflection. The first topic is the Rizal Talisman of National Stupidity. The topic that I've read is about Rizal, who became a talisman in a national stupidity. He suffered the fate of most celebrities, taken for granted, an object of idolatry, without any extraordinary significance. I don't have many people that are close to me, and that's why I feel like Rizal, because I feel used, disrespect, and taken advantage of. Like in my friends, whenever I need them, they don't even show me. Even in my lowest, they don't even care. But when they need me, I always at their side, giving advice and comforting them. And one of the most hurtful that I experience to them is when they're just good at me when I'm in their front, but if I'm not around, they always say bad about me. And it hurts me a lot. But I keep on helping them because I love them, even if they don't feel the same. But it's okay, at least I make them feel happy. The reality slapped me that not all celebrities or even not celebrity are grateful for their lives. Just like Jose Rizal, who want to live a simple life. Some are facing scrutiny and pressure from people surrounded by them. Like celebrities, who face a lot of criticism in their fans, the media, and even in public large. They are often expected to maintain a certain image or lifestyle. And anytime they deviate from that, they can face a lot of criticism and backlash. This can lead to feelings of isolation and frustration, as they may feel like they cannot be their true selves. As a result, they may feel taken for granted, with their achievements and accomplishments going unnoticed or unappreciated. And I experience it also that people you may know is using you just to lift themselves up and who are willing to do anything just to bring you down. No matter what you do, whether it is good or bad, there will be people who will judge and criticize you and happy seeing you suffering. I have that one friend that I think using me because when they have needs, they come to me, but when I ask for help, they don't say anything but I'm very busy right now. And I can't do anything, but instead of confronting them what I feel, I keep on quiet and cry alone. It is possible that a person may have used someone for their own gain. This could include taking advantage of someone's skills, resources, or connections to gain an advantage or benefit. It is important to be aware of possible situations where people may be taking advantage of you and to understand your rights and how to protect yourself. Being used by people is not a desirable outcome. People should be treated with respect and dignity and not be used as objects or tools. To do so is unethical and can lead to negative consequences. The next topic is Claro M. Recto and the Rizal Bill, the Rizal Law, Republic Act 1425, and its predicament. The topic that I read is all about the Rizal Law, also known as Republic Act 1425. This is to give the students and the future generations an ample background and for them to understand about the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal for our country. But there's someone who didn't agree with the legislation. I try to understand that there are some people might disagree to your ideas or opinions. In my experience, it happened both present and absent. Every time I tell a story, it's like that if you are seriously talking in front of your friends or parents and then there's someone who makes you oppose to or doesn't want your suggestions or doesn't want to hear your side. And they always have something to say about me. Sometimes I feel angry and bad because they don't listen to me. But if they talk, I try to listen to them, but I can't do anything because that's what they do. Because of how Catholic Church interprets the measure's provisions, there have been oppositions to the aforementioned bill. They objected to the Rizal Law because they thought the bill's claims that it would violate religious and free speech freedom were unfounded. Then Senator Recto asserts that the writings or novels had no religious undertones, which may be a mistake in the time's religious practices. Since the two novels expressly criticize the two priests, in my opinion, they have the right to voice their oppositions to the bill. They might misinterpret the purpose of the bill, which states that Jose Rizal's life and work are to foster good integrity, self-discipline, and civic sense of morality. However, it cannot be denied that the novel, meaning that it is the result of greater literature and poetry by Jose Rizal. By educating the Filipino about the life and contributions of our national hero, who devotes his entire life to serving his country, the Rizal Law gives meaning to the education. With the aforementioned bill, Rizal's contributions to the fight against Spanish tyranny were to be recognized. Rizal Law appears to recommend young people to the ideals of liberty and nationalism, for which our heroes sacrifice their lives. This is done to honor our national hero for dedicating his life and work to forming the Filipino from the Catholic Church and the Spanish government. I've been in a situation like this where I was trying to improve and help myself, not just myself, but others as well. But there are people who enjoy criticizing and putting me down and trying to oppose my side. Until now, present, it has happened. Whenever I hear them, I always get hurt and all I do is cry. But I choose to move on because I don't want to get into trouble. It's better for me to be silent and just live a peaceful life. No Limitangere is an important part of Filipino literary history. It is a novel written by Jose Rizal and is considered one of the most influential books in the country. It is a story about love, oppression, and revolution, and it has been a source of inspiration and guidance for many Filipinos. It has been used as a tool to help people understand the struggles of the Filipino people and to stand up for their rights. The novel has helped to shape Filipino identity and culture, and it continues to be an important part of Filipino history and heritage. Its themes and characters are still relevant today, and its message of hope and resilience still resonates with Filipino readers. Jose Rizal's negative experiences with the Spanish are brought to our attention in this novel. Our nation's hero initially intended to write this book with the assistance of his fellow countrymen, who were suffering at the hands of the Spanish, but he unexpectedly failed to do so because his fellow citizens lost hope in realizing their dreams of freedom and the hands of the Spanish colonizers. Without the assistance of his fellow Filipinos, Jose Rizal persisted in finishing this book and made decisions to pen it all by himself. As a Filipino, I've learned the importance of family and love to our country. The novel was written not only to criticize the Spanish regime, but also to instill nationalisms in the heart of Filipinos. It calls for regaining self-confidence. It also teaches us the importance of wisdom, standing up for what is right, loving our country. No Limitangere is the literary work that has marked us as a good role model for our country. It is historically significant, serves as a tool in the formation of our national identity, and also inspires and teaches us the true meaning of nationalism. The next topic is El Filibusterismo. The part of El Filibusterismo that affected me the most was the death of Crisostomo Ibarra. At the end of the novel, this death symbolized the futility of reform and the inability of the Filipino people to find justice through peaceful methods. Its societal implications is the colonialism, inequality, and poverty in the Philippines. The novel provides a critical examination of the socio-economic structure, criticizing the power of the elite and oppressive Spanish colonial government and its impact of the lives of the Filipino people. The novel also serves as a warning to the Filipino people, showing the potential consequences of unchecked corruptions and greed. Through the story of Simon, the novel paints a stark picture of the immense power imbalance between the oppressed, highlighting the need for the struggle against oppressions in order to bring about a more equitable society. This work has a continuation of No Limitangere, and it told us how nasty and evil the Spaniards were. Nonetheless, it addressed the Filipino community's bravery. It demonstrates our countrymen's amazing fortitude in confronting the Spaniards' avarice and savagery. El Filibusterismo by Jose Rizal is a powerful novel respect to the struggle of the Filipino people. against Spanish colonization. The novel serves as a reflection of the reality of Filipino culture and society at the time and provides a glimpse of the hope and despair that followed the revolution. Through its characters, the novel conveys the pain of the Filipino people, their desire for freedom, and the resilience of their spirit, their suffering. It is a powerful to remind of the importance of standing up for one's right and fighting for justice. Even in the face of oppression, El Filibusterismo is an important reminder of the strength of the Filipino people in the face of adversity and the power of resilience in the face of injustice. El Filibusterismo is a novel by Filipino author and national hero Jose Rizal that served as a sequel to his earlier work Noli Me Tangere. Through his work, Rizal sends a strong message to his readers about the oppressive Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines and calls for a revolution that would bring about a better future for the people. The novel follows the story of Simon, a wealthy jeweler and former revolutionary who disguised himself as a wealthy man in order to spread his message of freedom and justice. Throughout the novel, Rizal highlights the need for Filipinos to take a stand against the oppressive Spanish colonial rule and fight for a better future. As a result, El Filibusterismo serves as a powerful reminders of the need for social change and a call for Filipinos to stand up for what is right in order to create a better future themselves and their country. Next is the vision of Father Rodriguez. The article that I'm reading is the vision of Father Rodriguez, who was an Augustinian priest who criticized Noli Me Tangere and wrote pamphlets such as Questiones, De Sumo Interes, and Kaingat Kayo. He said that Rizal's novel was heretical. Thus, Rizal responded to the friar's claims through his satire. From the word criticize, and yes, I went through that too, and it's present. Many people, especially my friends, relatives, neighbor, always have something to say, maybe because they don't like me or disagree with something I said or did, or because I feel like I have wronged them in some way, and it hurts me though. It can be a valuable tool too if you use it correctly. But they are different in terms of criticizing because I feel like they are pulling me down and maybe they are annoyed with me and made that I have come a little far than them, but I let it go and move on because I know myself better than they do. Father Rodriguez criticized Noli Me Tangere and claimed that Rizal's novel was unbiblical. He also claimed that those who read the Noli Me Tangere commit a mortal sin. Jose Rodriguez, prior of Guadalupe, published a series of 8 pamphlets under the general headings Questiones de Sumo Interest or Questions of Supreme Interest to attack the Noli. As a result of the novel's alleged violations of religious and free speech rights, Father Rodriguez may be acting out of envy or dislike in this scenario. That's why my friends are so jealous. One more thing, whether you are good to them or not, they really have something to say about you. They will find a way to harm you in the eyes of other people, and they will be especially happy that you will be in trouble. In short, they don't want you to succeed in life. I came to understand that those who are constantly criticizing you might be friends, family, colleagues, or even complete strangers. Your choices, way of life, behavior, or even your appearance could be criticized by them. They might disagree with your decisions or think they are not in your best interest, as Father Rodriguez did. They might also be envious of your success or think they could perform better than you. But we should not do the same. We should learn to humble ourselves and leave them alone because we know ourselves better. There's no need to prove yourself to them. Don't beat them and don't make situation worse. Let God punish them. Next is By Telephone. The piece I read is all about the comedy satire By Telephone, which is about Padre Fant, who was in Madrid and spoke on the phone with a priest at the monastery of San Agustin about social issues and plans for the Philippines. Even though my situation is different from the two priests who are speaking, but I have tried to keep up conversations with my family and friends throughout the call. That is the one thing I can see myself doing, and it is present. During our conversation through call, we then discuss our future aspirations and future goals for our life. While we are talking, I simultaneously feel delighted and excited. Furthermore, discussing topics about the future is one of my favorite to talk to because it inspires me to stick with my plans and objectives or goals in life. Jose Rizal is a national hero of the Philippines, wrote the play by Telepon. Two friars talk about social issues and their plans for the Philippines. It was released in 1889 in response to a friar by the name of Father Salvador Fan in relation to his prejudice toward Noli Me Tangere and for starting the prohibition of Noli in the late fall of 1889. Under the direction of Dimas Alang, the first pamphlet was published in Barcelona. In the satirical comedy by Telephone, Father Fan used a telephone like sponsored by the Transoceanic Telephone Co. while in Madrid to communicate with the local press at San Agustin Monastery. The symbolism in by Telephone is extensive. It reveals the way friars lived and expressed gratitude for the gifts made by Ilustrados. Every word spoken in Madrid has left an echo that reverberates throughout the Philippines. Telephone is important because it is a quick and easy way to communicate with people. It is also more personal emails and text messages as it allows people to hear the other person's voice and build relationships. It is also a commitment way to make appointments, check in with others, and stay connected with family and friends. According to my research, the telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876 while the first cell phone was invented by Martin Cooper for Motorola in 1973. Cell phone or telephone is the most important communication tool in the modern world. It is used to connect people all over the world, allowing them to share ideas, conduct business, get news, and stay in touch with friends and family. Cell phones and telephones have become an essential part of our daily lives and are used for everything from making appointments to ordering food. They are also used to access the internet, watch movies, play games, and even to make international calls. Cell phones and telephones are incredibly versatile tools that make communication easier and more convenient. The last topic is Rizal's letter to Father Pastillos SG. The topic that I have read is the Rizal's letter to Father Pastillos, where there is a line full of regrets. This is, my only regrets is that being a deportee in a poor town like Dapitan, I have nothing with which to reciprocate. I hope, however, that an opportunity will present itself someday. That is if we are going to live that long. If not, I shall say God will pay you. I see myself in this line, and yes, it is present. I feel a deep sense of disappointment in myself as well as feelings of regret, shame, and guilt. It is because I regret a thing. Because it means that I made a mistake or acted in a way that I wish I hadn't. Regret is a feeling of sadness or disappointment that comes from recognizing that one's actions, decisions, or circumstances were not what they should have been. Rizal's letter is a powerful testament of his dedication to his mission of Philippine independence and his fight against Spanish oppression written in 1882. The letter is a plea for understanding and reform in the face of mistreatment and a lack of basic human rights for the Filipino people. It is plea for justice but also plea for compassion, understanding, and dialogue. Rizal's letter is a powerful example of a man of principle who is willing to stand up for what he believes in and what he knows to be right. He speaks with conviction and his words are filled with passion and emotion. This is evident in his description of the poor conditions of the Filipino people and his call for reform. He also speaks of his faith and belief in God and his respect for the church. Through this letter, we can see how Rizal was able to articulate his beliefs and concerns in a way that was both respectful and persuasive. He was able to present his ideas in a way that was both logical and compelling, and was able to convey the urgency of situation in an eloquent and powerful way. The struggles of Filipino people, the Spanish colonial period. Through his letter, Rizal uncovers the injustice that his people have been subjected to, including the abuses of the friars and their lack of respect for human rights. While Rizal expressed his disappointment and anger towards the friars in his letter, he also encouraged Father Pastillos to see the potential of his fellow Filipinos and to work towards reform and progress. As Rizal writes, the Filipino people are not barbarous people, but one with a great capacity for progress if the shackles that hold them back are broken. This serves as reminders to us of the importance of respecting the rights of others and working towards progress regardless of the circumstance we may find ourselves in. This enduring of Rizal's letter is a statement to the power of his words and his commitment to his people. And that's all. Thank you.